Hi class, this is Jerry Jankowski. I'm going to review how to place a comp, a design of a billboard that you do in Adobe InDesign onto a mock-up of a photograph in Photoshop. All right. Uh, excuse me, I have done one, there's one here on YouTube for how to do this from um, Adobe Illustrator to Photoshop, but I don't have one for InDesign, and it is a little different. Okay, it's you have to take an additional step to place the image. So here we go. Um, Again, our assignment was about the venue you created. You did a logo for it, and you did a brochure. This is the brochure that I did along with you in class. This was the front panel of my 6-panel brochure, and it was for a hypothetical Palm Springs Desert Gardens. Okay, and my logo and all that. And my photos I got, as I let you all look too for your photos on Unsplash or Pexels.com. So that's one side, and this is the other side. What I'd like you to do is go ahead and just open up your brochure that you did in InDesign and have it ready, because you're going to be using some of these photos, one or more than one, for your billboard. All right? All right, so let's open up also InDesign. Well, actually, it is opened up, so let's just do Command N for a new artboard. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, in the instructions, I tell you to create a artboard to work on that is width-wise, or length would be 6.5, and the height would be 2 inches. All right. So make sure you are in inches. This will be horizontal because the width is 5. It changed. It's 6.5. Okay, by 2. One page, no facing pages, columns none. Okay, margins, there is no margin. We're not going to do any margins. So let's put 0, and let's click the lock, the change, so it does all of them. And I think that will do it. 6.5, 2, one page, start on 1, columns. Maybe it defaults to 1. I don't know. Anyway, let's do create. There we are. Now this size is in ratio to what an actual billboard is. Now this is the billboard, and we'll be placing our final artwork on it, okay? So this is in ratio to that billboard. Okay, so I have decided that from my brochure, I am going to use this photograph right here. This was on the inside of my photograph, and I really like this particular photo. And I really don't need the top and the bottom. I think what I'm going to do is crop it in. So over here, I'm in Photoshop. I am going to pull this down a little bit. Whoops. I think I did a little bit too much. There we go. Let's try that again. See that dark bar? I'm going to slowly pull it down. There's a bar on the bottom here too, you can't quite see it. I'm going to pull that up, and that's going to be big enough. I don't really need anything bigger than this to place on for my billboard design. So this is just a comp though. This is not the actual final billboard artwork. So let's go up to the mover tool, click, and there we are. So I am going to, I think this is going to be good. I'm going to do a JPEG. I'm going to do Command S, and I'm going to save this. Command Control S, and I am going to put crop on it. when you do stuff to photos, always label what you're doing so that you know and you can figure out if you have half a dozen of them in a folder, you'll know which is which. Okay, this is going to be a JPEG. I'm going to save this as a JPEG, okay? Not sure why it says Wander Through, but I guess that was the name on Unsplash. So let's just save. Right, and then that's maximum. Okay, that looks good. And what I'm going to do now is I am just going to place it in here. Let's see, where is it? Okay, it's right here. It's on my desktop. It's a JPEG, and I am just going to drag it right into my artboard here. So this is in InDesign, okay? There it is. Okay, so let's go up here to the selection tool, and let's move this up a bit, okay? And there it is. Now the blue lines are the actual outside of the image, okay? So I don't need this part of the image, so I'm gonna just cut it off. So here is what's going to be my billboard. These skies look awful angry. Maybe I can. Now this is the red is the photograph, so I'm gonna raise this just the photo up a bit. See if I can get rid of some of that angry sky here. I want the peak of that mountain. I think that's going to be good. If I really have a problem with it, I can lighten this later on in Photoshop. Okay, so let's just leave that. I am going to get rid of this. Okay, no, I don't need to save it. And there's the billboard again that we're going to place stuff in. And now I'm going to go back to my billboard again. I'm sorry, not my billboard, but my brochure. And I'm going to look at what else I have here in here. Okay. Do I want to add another little photo? Do I want to add, what do I want to add? You know, this saying is kind of good, so I'm going to add this. Who says the desert isn't green? Come visit us in April, May. Okay, so I'm going to do Command or Control C, copy that. And I'm going to click this. And I'm going to make a box on the top. And I'm going to do Command Control V. And I'm going to put that in here. Now it's stacked. It's in about 4 lines or 5 lines. So let's get rid of these hard returns. And let's just do 1 line. Okay. All right, that looks good. Let's do white. Let's click swatches. I'm going to rip swatches off and put it right here. Let's click paper. Let's see how legible it is. Now that's really good. On a lot of times when you put type text on a photograph, it's hard to read. This is actually working well. What I'm using too, if you note, is a very heavy sans serif font, and it's actually condensed. I'm also taking the letter spacing or tracking. I'm bringing it in a bit too. So you will notice that. I have if you look up here, this VA, that's your tracking, I made a -10. So that's pulling in the type even closer. Okay, so who says the desert isn't green? Come visit us. Okay, that's great. Now let's take something else off of there. We don't need much on a billboard, so let's just take one more thing. I want the address. I want the address, and that's going to be about it. So here we go. Command C, Command Control V, C, and then Command Control V, and that would be right there. And let me put that right here. Command Control V. Okay. Again, we got a lot of hard returns here. Let's get rid of them. and just put commas, comma space, and I am going to put a space, Alt Option 8. That's instead of a dash, it's a dot. Okay, now I am going to make this all white. There we go. And I think that's all I want. I don't know if I want a phone number. I don't even know if I need this Palm Springs Desert Gardens for the website, but you know what? I think I'm going to keep it. Okay, .com, white. You know what? No, if you were driving by, you would not remember this. I am going to just leave it like that. Okay, so there it is. All right. Maybe the phone number is okay. I'm going to put the phone number. There we go. All right. So there we have it. Could be a little bit. This could be maybe a little bit heavier. I mean, I like it the way it is, but we want to make sure people can read this thing. So semi-bold. There we go. All right. Am I happy with this? I think it's pretty good. It's missing the logo. If I were to put the logo, let's hit W on the keyboard so we can see it without the lines. Okay. If I was going to put the logo in it, I'd probably put it above here, or I'd put it above here. But I need this to be darker, so I would Photoshop and make this darker. So let's just make this type here a little bit bigger and then call it a day. That'll be it, okay? So let's make it just a little bigger. When you get that little plus, that means you have extra text that didn't get in. Now it's all there. I'm going to put that in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to put this more in the middle like that. Okay. So we are done. We are done. Now, for this assignment, I'd like you to do 3 of these. So this is one, and then you'd have to do 2 more. All right. So let's do the save on this, and let's call it Billboard dash InDesign. And I'm going to do Palm Springs Desert Garden, PSDG. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's just do it on the desktop. There we go. So we know where it is. Save. And there it is. So this, I'm saving it as an InDesign. Now I want to save it as File, Export. Now I want to export it as something else. Here we are. I'm going to export it as a JPEG. Now, if you remember, a JPEG is a function of Photoshop. So a JPEG is going to work really well as I try to put it into a Photoshop document. So let's do this too. Save. Now we got all this. Do look at this. Range 1, quality high, resolution 300. Make sure it's on 300. RGB. You know what? For print, this really should be CMYK, but honestly, you're going to be sending this as a PDF to me, so RGB would actually be a little bit better color. Leave it as that. Just make sure you have quality high and resolution at 300. Let's do export now. And click here. I think we already saved it, so don't save. All right, so where did it go? It's not here. That's not it. It's a JPEG. This looks like it's right here. Actually, this is one that I had saved before because I did put the logo in it. And look at, I've put the lines on two lines. I'm actually kind of liking this better. So what I am going to do, I'm going to use this one. Okay? I want to use this one rather than the one I just showed you. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing anybody, but same thing. The design is a little different. Okay. Yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so here we are. This is what I've given you on Canvas. So let's put this in there. Okay? I call this my final billboard. So there's no way I could get that mixed up with anything else. Okay? So here we go. I'm just going to drop it right in. And there we are. Okay? I do like this on two lines, and the reason I like it on two lines is as much as I like the background, I want this to be bolder. I want you to really see it, okay? So for me, this works better. Okay, so let's finish this. Okay, let's go up to Edit, Transform. You want Distort. Edit, Transform, Distort. You should write that down if you're not really familiar with Photoshop, okay? Let go. See this corner? I'm going to grab each corner and put it into each corner of the mock-up photograph. There is one. Click, pull. You got to hold your mouse down for this. You can't let go. There's the other one. So I've released. Okay, click, hold down, drag. Click, hold down, drag, and release. I'm going to click on the background here, or the background here. No, I guess I have to go over here. There we go. And we are done. So now what I'm going to do is, this is the final, and I think it looks really good. What I'm going to do now is save it to send into Canvas. This is what you need to do. Okay, and notice this one does have the logo, the PSDG. Now, this background should be a little bit darker. I would Photoshop this. I would just make it a little, burn it in a little bit, make it a little bit darker. Not much, just a little. So let's do File. I might have to export this, so let's just export. A PNG, I guess you could do that. Let's go back up to Save As. Let's just do it as a Photoshop PDF. It's right in the middle. Let's go make it go to Desktop, Photoshop, PDF, Save. Usually do just the most recent one. It's not a big deal. And then save. Just ignore the rest of this. And there you go. So send that in, and you might want to, do I want to save this? No, not really. You might want to look at it. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, there it is. It looks good. Generally speaking, always open up your PDF and look at it, because sometimes it does some goofy things, especially if you have a lot of layers and you forgot to flatten them. Okay, so that is the lesson, and thank you for